dragon. Very important. Now, the fall of Adam was one of Satan's strategy to turn man and all of creation against God's authority and dominion. Don't forget that Satan all along has been stealing from God. He has always been envious of God, envious of his master, envious of his creator. In the first instance, he wanted God's throne. He said, I will ascend to the sides of the north. I will be like the Most High. I will sit upon the mount of congregation. And then he wanted God's glory. He wanted to be shining like God. It's not enough that God said, shine for me. He now wants to shine in the place of God. That is, he wants God removed. Have you ever raised somebody who wants to erase you? Have you ever helped somebody who wants to cripple you? Yeah? Have you ever trained somebody who wants to trash you at the end of the day? Have you ever tried to lift somebody up, and when he stood up, he wants to bring you down? That is very Luciferic. And so the Bible said he desired it. And not only that, he even wanted the worship of God. He didn't just want God's throne and God's glory. He wanted to be worshipped as God. And the worst part of it was that he even wanted God to worship him. That was the height of his madness. Ladies and gentlemen, Satan is mad. He wanted his maker to do what? To worship him. Because when Jesus Christ came to the earth, the Bible said he tempted Jesus. He came to him one of the days and said, come, let me show you all the things that I control. Come and see how wealthy I am, how powerful I am. And then he showed him all that God created, that he swindled, that he stole from Adam. Then he told Jesus, all these things have been given unto me. If you just bow down and worship me now, I will do what? I'll give you everything. Now, demanding for the worship of the Son of God, what else is left? If he's asking the Son of God to worship him, is he not asking God to worship him? So when you see servants who want to outshine their masters, employees who want to be more important, more wealthy than the employer, then you know that Lucifer is already at work. And when you see pastors who want to be more worshipped than the God they are supposed to be leading people to worship, then you know that Lucifer has enlisted them for destruction. In some of our churches today, our daddies and our mommies are the only ones that we know. They don't so much talk about Jesus. They don't so much talk about God. They don't so much as introduce the people to God. They just introduce themselves to the people. Every miracle and every testimony centers around daddy and mommy. And I used to tell pastors, anytime I have the privilege of meeting with some of them, be careful. You take the glory that belongs to God, it will remove you out of the way as though you never existed. It's been known to do it not once, not twice. Be careful when God begins to use you and people begin to bow down to you. When they come and they bow down before you, always be quick to tell them to rise. Because you didn't die for them. You are not the owner of their soul. Least they use their kneeling down before you to kill you. You don't know what finished Lucifer. He was praised out of heaven. I'm sure each time he manifested, all the angels were hailing him. And the thing got into his head. And he staged a coup. He said, man, the way I'm going, even God, they fear me now. God, they respect me. If you guys will just queue behind me, we will remove the Most High. I'm tired of it, of this regime. Every time, I am the Lord, I am the Lord, I am the Lord, I change it not. Why won't you change? He's not even growing, no development. I am the Lord, I change it not. I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let's learn new thing, though. I don't know if you're still in church. Now, let's go to these principles. I'm really interested in seeing the resources of the earth being called forth so that we can enjoy the blessedness loaded in the earth. When you look at Genesis chapter 1 from verse 1, he said, can you put Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 on the screen? Praise the Lord. Anybody? Some. And darkness covered the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God did what? Moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be what? And there was. Now look up. In the beginning, God. Everybody say, in the beginning, God. So from the very beginning, God was there. Because he was the beginning that began the beginning that had no beginning. In the beginning, God, he created the heaven and the earth. Full stop. There was no challenge. The next verse tells us, and the earth was without form and void. And all of a sudden, darkness covered the face of the deep. Of the what? Of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The first principle here is the principle, number one, of brooding over your particular earth to see its contents and capacity in order to determine what to call forth. The principle of brooding or incubating over your particular earth to see its contents and capacity